All right, so I just want to talk about, like, we've been working on Khan Academy, and you guys will have to take the SAT your 11th grade year. So I just want to talk briefly about Khan Academy and how it helps you like get good test scores. But basically, your test scores are an assessment of what you know, and your teachers teach you a lot of stuff, and it's really hard to remember everything that you've been taught. Some of the things that are on the SAT are things that you learned in the 5th grade, 6th grade, and you don't take the SAT until the 11th grade. You guys will take the PSAT. Anyways, Khan Academy is a really cool tool that helps you kind of keep up with the stuff you remember and also learn things maybe that you didn't quite understand in class. I have to go quickly when I go through stuff, and sometimes we're on to the next thing before you feel 100% confident on a particular topic. You can go back in Khan Academy. Sometimes just looking at the video and having it having it explained to you a second time is very helpful. And so, anyways, I'm just gonna hit play on this video real quick. Turn the volume up.
Practice. Khan Academy and the College Board have teamed up to create the only SAT practice tool developed with the experts who write the SAT. It's personalized for each student, available anytime, anywhere, and completely free. We'll create personalized practice recommendations for you based on your test results from the PSAT 8-9, PSAT 10, PSAT NMSQC, and SAT. If you haven't already taken a College Board test, you can take our short diagnostic quizzes to get started. Your practice plan will show you where you already excel and where you should focus your practice. We'll also create a practice schedule for you based on your test dates. We have tons of interactive practice questions developed with the College Board that give you instant feedback on your answers, as well as hints and videos to help you master your skills. Mini sections help you practice under time pressure. We have official practice tests written by the College Board. Taking at least 2 practice tests will help you build the experience and endurance necessary to do well on test day. Join more than 1 million students already using official SAT practice.
Khan Academy was probably the best way that I could use to study. My math was below par. Using Khan Academy, I built it up to improve my scores dramatically. I like the leveling up. It kind of makes it a game.
I'm so excited and prepared because it's something that I've already seen, I've already cut through, so when I take it, I'm going to do it. Sign up and get started today.
And so we're not going to sign up today, but let me explain how this works, okay? So students prepare for the official SAT see significant improvement when they use Khan Academy. Studying for 6 to 8 hours with the official SAT practice through Khan Academy increases your score by 90 points on average, okay? Studying for 20 hours on the Khan Academy official SAT practice shows, and this is based on research, about 115-point gain. So let me clarify. So the SAT, which you'll take in your 11th grade year, total points you could get is 1,600. It's 800 for English, basically, and 800 for math. And there's different parts to that, and I'm not going to get into that today. So the average is about 11. I think it's 1180 or 1120. It's in the 1100 mark total. So that means you get about 550. That's I shouldn't say average. That is like the bare minimum, right? Like that's like, for example, it's 800 points total on math, and I think you need a 580 to reach benchmark. I would love for most of you guys to at least get 650 and stuff like that. So by studying a total of 20 hours, you can increase your score by 100 points, okay? So one of the nice things about Khan Academy is that they are College Board partners. Now, you guys may not know this, but the College Board is I don't want to say company, it's the organization that actually writes the SAT. And it's a bunch of college professors and some high school teachers and educators. And basically what they're checking for to see if you're ready to go to college or ready to enter into the workplace. So part of this is like a career and college readiness. So when I say that, and when I throw that number out, 580 benchmark, If you get that score, it says you're ready for college. So what happens if you don't reach a 580? Well, when you go to college, they're going to look at your score and they'll say, they're not quite ready for college level classes. And they make you take like a redo, like an Algebra 2 class in college. And then you can take official 100 level classes. Yes, question?
What if you get like a 549 or whatever, like one less than, like just a little bit less than the benchmark? Will they still be?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the student says, what if you just barely missed the benchmark? So a lot of colleges have their own placement test. So if you score above a 580, and some colleges are competitive, they won't let you take their math classes unless you score 600 or 620 or whatever the case is. Each college determines what they think is acceptable, right? But let's say that you don't. Then what they do is they have their own placement test, and then you take the placement test, and if you pass the placement test, you go right into what we call 100 level classes. You still take a college credit, but it's not applied towards your degree. So if you don't have a high enough score, they usually give you what they call an 090 course, or they have different names for it, but basically it's a refresher course, and once you pass that class, then you automatically qualified to take the next class. So when Mr. Adams was at Andrews University, what the math department did there was they had a placement test, and if you didn't get a high enough score, they gave you a course that was basically like algebra and geometry. It was basically high school level math, and if you pass that class, then you could go on and take your stats class or whatever 100 level math class you needed. Okay, did that answer your question?
Yeah.
So it's not the end all, but it sure would be nice if you guys could hit the benchmark. Does that make sense? It's not the end of your college career. Anyways, back to Khan Academy. So because Khan Academy is a College Board partner, the questions they use were actual questions that were on previous SATs or written by the people that write the questions for the SAT. Khan Academy is sponsored by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. What that means is you get to use it for free. So there's a lot of people at Khan Academy that organize this and keep this up to date. They get paid from the foundation through grants and stuff, and you guys use it absolutely free. Okay. Khan Academy also links to your College Board data. So when you guys take the PSAT, I can link your College Board account to Khan Academy, and it creates, and this is the nice part, the next example, it creates a custom study guide for you. The scoring is 1, 2, 3, 4. Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, Level 4. 4 is what we want. That means you know it, forwards and backwards. What it does is it says, according to the PSAT, when it comes to linear equations, you're actually at a 3. So what it does is it starts you at a level 3 and helps you to get to a level 4. If you're at a level 2, it starts at a level 2 and helps you to get to level 3. Your goal is to get level 4s all the way across the board if you can. Okay. So then research shows that Khan Academy can increase your scores by up to 200 points. So the more time you spend review, and this just makes sense, right? The more math problems you do, the more you review the video, the more you go over the material, the more likely you are to learn it. And if you have learned it, then you'll get a better score on the test. Does that make sense? What can you do on SAT? Well, I'm your math teacher, but you can also do reading and writing. It has a thing where you can actually type essays, and it has reading comprehension. There's also links to the College Board that imports your PSAT data, and that's how you get that unique study guide. If you're unable or have never taken the PSAT, they have a diagnostic test that you could take. And if you take, it's basically another PSAT or SAT, but it's online, and then it puts you where you need to be. It assesses whether you're level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 for each category. There are also, I think, 10 released. If you go to College Board, the people that make the SAT, they have 10 practice tests. Those same 10 practice tests are available through Khan Academy. The nice thing about Khan Academy is they offer feedback. This is why you got question number 3 wrong. This is how you get the right answer, sort of thing, okay? 4 is the goal. Level 1 means that you're really struggling. Level 2 means you kind of get it. Level 3 means you get it most of the time. Level 4 means you get it all the time. And there's complexity to it. That's a simple way to explain it. Individual practice. You could create a study guide based on when you want to, so that when we're not going to do this until we get back from spring break, but when we log in together as a group, we're going to plug in the test date, and it's going to say you need to work on this so many hours a day, or not hours a day. You need to complete so many tasks per week to kind of basically go over the whole practice before the actual PSAT or SAT. The questions are from the College Board, so if you learn how to do these questions, you won't be surprised when you take the actual SAT. Reading and writing is there, same thing. The same people write the reading and writing questions. So when you do the reading comprehension or you write an essay, it prepares you for the real test, because all the questions, all the prompts, the way that they grade it is exactly how, because the people that make the SAT are actually the ones kind of facilitating how Khan Academy presents and assesses what you know, right? So it's not about the test, it's about being able to demonstrate what you know. So that means you have to learn it. So when we do this stuff, it's not because I want you to get good test scores, it's because I want you to learn it. Okay. Instructional videos, that's kind of the nice thing. You guys have been doing it now with the NWA map growth, but the videos are there. Obviously, if you don't understand how to do something, you ask me first, because I'm like kind of a really good math teacher. But if you're working on this at home and you're I don't understand it, they have those same types of videos that you're using for your NWA growth mapping that explain the concepts in context. So when they do a story problem for the SAT math, there's somebody that actually goes through that specific problem, or one almost identical to it. Okay. And these SAT questions and prompts are unique to you as an individual. Each individual in this class will have their own unique study guide based on the data from either your PSAT or the diagnostic quiz. It's very efficient. If you already know how to graph equations, it's not going to waste your time explaining how to graph equations. It's going to focus on the stuff that you don't know. If you know how to solve one-step or multi-step algebraic equations, it's not going to waste your time on that. It'll focus on the things that you need to learn. Okay? Let me play this real quick.
Welcome to Official SAT Practice. I'm Kit Hirosaki, the lead designer. Our team here at Khan Academy has partnered with the College Board, the makers of the SAT, to bring you official, personalized, and completely free practice for the SAT. Our system works by figuring out what skills you need to practice most and focusing your time on those. We also help you create a practice schedule based around when your test is, and we have full-length exams from the College Board to help you get ready for the real thing. So when you first sign in, you'll arrive on this page. If you've already taken the PSAT or SAT, you can connect your Khan Academy and College Board accounts and automatically send your test results to us. That way you can start by practicing what you missed in the PSAT, and we'll set the question difficulties to match where you are right now. If you haven't taken the PSAT or SAT, no worries. We have a series of diagnostic quizzes that you can take that'll figure out your strengths and weaknesses and what you should practice first. So when you click Sign into College Board, you'll be taken to College Board so you can send your test results to Khan Academy. Now that we're connected, we'll read in your results and create your personalized practice recommendations. All right, looking good. So on your first day, you'll get started by practicing one of the skills that you missed on the test. You'll also go through the steps to create your practice schedule. I've already created one here. Let me scroll down. So I'm scheduled to take the test on June 4th, and the system helped me figure out when I should take my practice exams, and I also scheduled the days when I want to practice throughout the week. So let's go ahead and practice that first skill. We have two areas, math and reading and writing. Your top 3 recommended skills to practice are shown here, and you can see these are being recommended because they're ones that we missed on the PSAT. So for the ones I missed on the PSAT, the system has me starting at level 2. As I answer questions right, I'll climb to level 4, which has the hardest questions. So let me fire up this first recommended skill. When I'm working on a practice question, I can show hints, or I can also watch a video example for this skill. And then once I've made my answer, I can check it. No, didn't get that. But fortunately, we give you an explanation for how to solve the problem. After you finish practicing these first 3 skills, you'll do the time many section, which is like a real test section where you're under time pressure, but it's much shorter, just 10 or 11 questions long. And then, once you're done with that, the system will give you 3 new skills to practice based on what you missed in the time many section, combined specific skills you want to get more practice on, you can come down to the library and choose what you want to practice. You can also watch videos where Sal works through different examples. In our tips and planning section, we have videos and articles about the test, as well as tips for preparing for the test. And in our full exam section, we have 4 full exams you can take to get ready for the real thing. The SAT is a long test. It's 3 hours or 4 hours if you've signed up for the optional essay. And it's very important to take practice exams to build up the endurance you'll need to do well on your test day. Then once you finish your practice test, you'll get your score, you can review your answers, and you'll get new practice recommendations for the questions that you missed. That's it. You can go to khanacademy.org/SAT to get started preparing for the SAT, all for free. Good luck!
All right. So anyways, these are additional resources, but at some point in time, when you guys are ready, I have a YouTube playlist, and I'll share some of this information with you. These are actual SAT questions.
All your business needs, one single class.
These are SAT test questions. I basically go through a couple different tests, and I start at problem number 1, and do problem number 2, problem number 3, problem number 4, all the way through the test. And so this is actually from the College Board. I have the links in here for the actual test. Well, I don't have it in the YouTube channel, but I do have it, and I'll share it with you guys, okay? Are there any questions on anything? So just to kind of recap, we're gonna start doing some Google quizzes. A lot of the math, they have you read charts. It's math, but it's also related to like PE and health and social studies and science. So there's going to be like a chart for science information. It's actually a math skill, kind of, when you think about it, to read the chart. And so I'm going to give you guys some math quizzes that are Google Forms. We're going to start logging and tracking our progress. And then we're going to set goals for this test, just like we did for the NWEA. Basically, what we're really showing you guys how to do is to focus on your learning. The test doesn't matter as much as it does that you've learned it. So I want to emphasize that we're not trying to make sure that you pass the test or get really good scores on the test. We're really focusing on helping you to learn the material. If you learn it, then you'll get good test scores. But this takes a lot of work on your end. I can teach and teach and teach, and sometimes you guys kind of get in this rut. Oh, I just wrote it down. And what we want you to do is do more than just write it down. We want you to go, okay, did I learn it? You guys have to ask yourselves these questions. Did I learn it? If the answer is no, what can I do to learn it? And there's a long list of things that you guys can do. You can ask me for help. You could look at the videos that I provide. You could go on things like Khan Academy. You could read your textbooks, all those things. And by giving you these assessments, it kind of forces you guys, because you guys need to think about the big picture, right? Like, you're like, oh, this is important. This is why I go to school, so I can learn stuff. Oh, I do want to go to college. Oh, I might want to get into a technical school. I didn't realize if I didn't learn the material that I'm going to have to learn it anyways. So these are the kind of things that we're trying to address, okay? All right, let's get started with our lesson for today.